Hello. Creepypasta investigation number 1. Mr.Bear. You can call me Dark Angel. I won't disclose my real identity for the reason being what I am investigating and telling you can be potentially dangerous for me. You've all read creepypastas. You've all heard them read on YouTube. Some of you may believe that a lot of these characters in the creepypastas are all fake. What if I told you some of them are real? Some of them truly are real. For instance, this case, 1999 by Elliot. The thing about Mr. Bear. He's real. He's deadly real. Aside from Elliot's blog, which I'll come back to in a little bit and explain what I have to say about that, Mr. Bear is real. In 2001 to 2003, there was a rash of child disappearances. 45 children disappeared from the area in Michigan where I lived over a 3-year period of time. In 2001, it was about the middle of summer. Me and my friend, I'm going to call him JC, and his little brother, who was 5 years old, went camping in the woods close by where we lived. Yeah, we had heard that like 13 children had disappeared, but he wanted to go with us. So we let him. We figured with the two of us, we could stop anything that could possibly happen. Because we figured it was just some bum staying in the woods. Because you could walk through those woods and you'd find mattresses laying on the ground out there, little girls' underwear, aside from some other really disgusting shit. But we figured it was a bum, and we figured, we could handle it if anything happened. And yeah, we might even catch the motherfucker that's taking the children and get some kind of reward. We thought we were big bad motherfuckers. 17-year-olds who thought they were big and bad. What's new there, huh? Later that night, like I said, we were out there camping, and my friend got the great idea, let's scare the shit out of my little brother. So he went to go get some more firewood. His brother knew that. What his brother didn't know was that he was actually going around behind us. He put on a Jason mask, took a machete we had for cutting some wood, and so he was going to freak the hell out of his little brother. Came popping out of the woods behind us, scared his brother. His brother went running. Boy, did we ever regret scaring him. His little brother went running, and we never saw him again. After I got up off the ground from rolling and laughing after his brother took off, we had a radio with us. We heard that another kid had disappeared, bringing the count to 14. That snapped us back to reality and how stupid we were for scaring the hell out of his little brother. We went chasing after him. His little brother shouldn't have been able to get so far ahead. But he did. We couldn't find him. We searched for 3 hours, searching through those woods, till at last we came upon this old house on the outskirts of the woods. Had a storm cellar attached to it. The house looked like it was ready to be torn down. There was no lights, no nothing. We thought maybe his brother went in there. So we tried the door. It's locked, boarded up. The windows are locked, are all shut, so we didn't get in the house. We tried the storm cellar. It was chained shut from the inside, apparently. So we knew we figured he couldn't have gone in there. Hell, who's gonna think anything about an old, dilapidated, falling apart house that can't be gotten into? Who's gonna think a kid could get in there? Finally, we had to call the cops. God, did we get in trouble with his parents, too. Police searched and searched. They found no traces of him. He was the 15th kid that disappeared that year. And they found no trace of him. And I still regret it to this day. The next summer, we had been searching. We went out there searching for any signs, anything. We had been searching the rest of that summer too. We kept searching all year long, looking for any traces. We never found anything. Nothing. The next summer, it was only 4 days after summer and 6 kids had already come up missing again. Me and my friend decided to go back into the woods camping again. We were going to watch for any signs of anything. We saw some shadows going by the tent. So we heard a kid's voice with the shadows. We ran out of the tent and we followed it, tracked it. We found an old bum sitting out there in the woods. The kid that was with him was apparently his daughter because she was just as dirty and disheveled as him. So we let it be. We stayed out in those woods searching and searching all that summer. We found nothing. The next summer, we went out there again. This was in 2003. We were out there camping again. We had seen the bum with his daughter all year long. We saw him again the next summer in 2003. We even talked with him, invited him to sit down and have dinner with us. They went to where they went to sleep. Me and my friend slept in the tent again. And we got awoken the next morning by the cops. The bum standing with the cops. He's all disheveled. He's sitting there pointing at us. They're the ones who did it. They took my daughter. They took my daughter. The cops asked us questions. That old man's daughter was the first one of the kids to disappear in 2003, bringing the total over 3 years up to 31 at the time. Of course, the cops could tell we had nothing to do with it. We were searching the woods all that summer. More and more kids disappeared till 45 were gotten altogether over 3 years. The last day of summer, me and him decided to walk all the way through the woods. We started out at 4 in the morning. About 10 o'clock that night, we had gotten past the woods in the other direction and found an old storm drain, one of those big metal tube ones. We followed it. It seemed like we were going through it for 2 or 3 hours. And we came out at the edge to a river. No one had ever found anything of the kids because no one went through that storm drain. We got to the end of it and we found something that made my heart drop into my stomach. We found a burnt up shirt. It had been burnt and covered in blood. It was his little brother's. It had his name in the back of it. We found clumps of charred hair at the end of that tube. And we found what looked like a huge matted off piece of fur, torn off piece of fur, stuck to a sharp edge on it. At the time in 2003, we thought it was just some wild animal that had gotten its hair caught on it. A dog, something like that, you know. You don't think anything of something you've never heard of at the time, because the whole thing about Mr. Bear was never reported. That's why everyone thinks it's fake. But after hearing Elliot's story, it makes sense. Mr. Bear didn't stay in Canada the whole time. After he was almost caught, he ran. Now for what I was going to bring up about Elliot's story. Elliot had seen an email from Mr. Bear stating that he saw him at the place twice. The first time, of course, was when the cops were there. But if Mr. Bear wasn't there, how did Mr. Bear see him? Mr. Bear was there. But of course you'll say, that can't be. There was only cops there. What if Mr. Bear was a cop? And how did Mr. Bear know Elliot was going to come back was supposedly thinking about coming back to watch the rest of those videos that the cops had? When the only person who knew that, by the time Mr. Bear found out, was his dad's friend who was a cop. What if Mr. Bear was his dad's friend? Or what if the accomplice was his dad's friend? Mr. Bear is very real. I'm begging you people, watch your children. Keep them safe. He's out there, and he's watching your children.